for a lower, a lower sum or try to manage the data that they have, you get. So that's exactly what it's looking like. And now that the China has won, the American government, I just hope that, they heed to this warning and probably trace their steps. So there's this other headline I thought it, to mention it, which is at the top left, which is joint effort to stop scammers. So we have here in detail that the Hong Kong police and law enforcement agencies from other Asian countries have conducted a joint operation targeting online and telecom fraud schemes. Now, this collaborative effort led to the arrest of suspects and the seize of over 157 million US dollars linked to scams. I think that's a lot of money, really. And it was on the headline, I think, yesterday for this same newspaper. They're just giving us up, even down to on Monday. And rather was, an update on, the people that are committing fraud, using AI devices and all of that. And the fact that, the police officers in China came together to, be able to find this out, and they're able to get $157 million. That's a lot of money, to be honest. But yeah, this is actually to say that, even here in Nigeria, there are a lot of things that's going on with this whole AI thing. And where China is with technology. And the fact that they are still facing this kind of issues. Imagine people having to go away with 157 million US dollars. Just imagine that. I just hope that they are able to, look for a way to balance this whole thing. While they are progressing with technology, they should also look for ways to, get people that are already skilled with cybersecurity to ensure that things like this don't happen again. But yeah, when I was also studying this story, because again, it was a lot for, the police officers and other law enforcement agencies to be able to, get this done. And it just came to me that, okay, I think I'm always very hard on, a lot of agencies here in Nigeria. So I thought to give, kudos and say well done to all of the security agents that we have here in Nigeria that have been doing a whole lot of good. Even though the newspapers and the numbers are not giving it, as it should, but then I think it's important to, for the little that you guys are doing to say well done. But yeah, that's all I have for you on the newspaper today.
Finally, God's beauty can give small accolades to Nigeria and its agencies. Let's give a round of applause to God's beauty.
Shouldn't we probe to find out why it is coming at such a time?
We will do that after the show, but for her to even open her mouth and say Nigerians, and she said it with, even here in Nigeria, that's not something they say. You just hear, you people in Nigeria. You people in Nigeria.
She's identifying with us.
Exactly.
Why are you running for office? Tell us.
No, it's too late. Maybe 2027, but right now it's too late because
oh my God,
they don't close shop for this year. Well, yes, thank you, God's beauty, for that. Oluchi, can you take us to the
definitely,
Nigeria?
Absolutely, with utmost pleasure. The major headline reads, Benue killings, Army chief moves in, deploys more troops and logistics. Police relocates area commander, tactical teams to troubled local government areas. Gunmen kill 16, burn several houses in Plateau communities. Terrorists kill 3 villagers in Kwara. We have more stories here. We see man falls from Cocoa House, topmost floor. USSD banking charges to be deducted from airtime, says NCC. Nigeria's $1 trillion ambition at risk without policy stability. Mokwa flood. Federal government blames climate change and unregulated building. Damage devastating, says the Niger government. We also have stories here on economic reforms. It's painful but necessary, says presidency. Challenges opposition to offer viable alternatives. Affirms under Tinubu the cup is half full. And the last story here reads, passengers lament, treks long distance as gridlock on Ibadan, Lagos highway persists for hours. Well, I'm just coming across this one, and I think the graphics on the Tribune papers shows, the gridlock happening here. And I think, honestly, this Lagos-Ibadan expressway is, I don't know how to put it, I think maybe some intentionality with, how do I put it now? Those road construction should be better, because I remember traveling, to the east this last December, and there was a time when we were coming back, we had gotten to, I think, Delta area or so, and that place just felt so tight. We had a lot of lorries, trailers, tankers, even with commercial buses and the small buses. Just looking at this picture here, it's bringing back the image I had. I remember that it was quite scary because, I mean, having to drag road in that sense with people that are carrying fuel and, you know,
That's
some
what
heavy
scares
stuff.
me with driving. That's risk.
Honestly.
And then there's speed in those cases. And I think one of the things that I know is the Lagos State government has said some trailers carrying heavy stuff should not go over some bridges. But most of the time when I'm still commuting back to the... I still see that happening. And I think there was also one time where they said all those lorries and all should only...
go at night.
Go at night, where traffic was also manageable then. But, you know...
So the point is, I feel like if we're going to be looking at road construction, we should start considering major roads and see how to make it right. Was it not yesterday or Friday, I can't remember, where we saw a particular budget being drawn for road construction? God, which you can remember, it was over 88 billion naira. Like, it was a whole lot of money. And I was saying then that we know how people will keep money for road construction and use less quality products. The roads then become damaged again and you're just wasting money. So I was, you know, just imploring that if we're going to be pumping this money, even though I don't want to talk about how huge it is, it should be used for the right cause. But then there's the other story we have to talk about. It's quite sad, but, you know, this Mokwa flood stuff. The federal government here has blamed climate change and unregulated building. So let me read what I found on the Tribune papers. It's not so long, honestly, just to give you a breakdown of what Niger State Emergency Management has reported, that according to Dr. Ibrahim, 2 more bodies were recovered on Tuesday afternoon, bringing the total number of fatalities to 160. The recovered bodies were those of 2 children buried under the tree debris in the Mokwa-Raba axis. NSEMA had to employ the services of locals to retrieve the corpses, highlighting the severity of the situation. I'm sorry I have to read this gory news, but just to let you know that this is actually a fatal case beyond, you know, what we even comprehended about the whole thing. And seeing that there's already blame from the federal government to climate change and everything, like I said, we don't always have to play the blame game all the time just to exonerate ourselves from responsibility. It should be about thinking of compensation for people that have lost their families, you know, a better living environment. Because even with climate change, I think if you put something, some structure in place, maybe it can reduce the disaster in coming days. So this is me also, you know, extending my condolences to people who have lost their lives as a result of this flood. It's quite outrageous. And that's all I have on the Tribune.
Well, thank you. I think beyond climate change, our drainage system, especially in Lagos, is also one issue that I think that the governor should take note of as rain keeps falling. There's been a lot of flood areas even in Lagos and traffic.
I mean, just yesterday, once small quick rain like this, you need to see traffic.
So, well, I hope the governor takes note of that. On The Nation, I'm just going to be taking one story, and it's a very funny one where the president says, bring up alternative policies, presidency tells critics, federal government cautious on state police takeoff. And this is giving, if he easy, conduam, that kind of stuff. When it was like, bring up alternative policies, if you think that
I saw it on the Tribune as well.
if you think that the one I'm doing is not fine by you, you self, do and it's, I don't know how I should see it, but I don't think that it should be spoken in that light. I know that a lot of people, critics would obviously criticize policies and things that are being done by any administration. But rather than saying that, if you cannot bring another solution, leave it the way I've done it. I think it should be more of a collaborative thing where there's a private discussion and they can do like a draw-up plan rather than coming out again on the headlines to say, oh yeah, now if you think that you can
they have pinched you too much. You're like, I'm not taking it any longer. Do what you want to do. So that's the vibe it gives.
That's all we have on the pages of the newspaper this morning. Please also stay with us and join us as we discuss NYSC and the call for better welfare. We'll be taking your questions and comments live on our social media platforms. So be sure to join this conversation. We'll be right back after this break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Today, as I mentioned earlier, we're discussing a very important topic, and the NYC has called for better welfare of corps members. And I believe this is a step towards national development. The National Youth Service Corps is advocating for better working conditions for corps members, emphasizing the need for a conducive work environment to maximize their productivity. Specifically, the Kogi State Coordinator, Mr. Femi Osugbohon, urged employers to provide essential amenities such as accommodation, enhanced monthly allowances, and transportation. We've had situations of inadequate infrastructure in a lot of NYC orientation camps, and these places require modern facilities to promote a comfortable living environment for their corps members. Just recently, the monthly allowance for corps members was increased to 77,000 naira, which was a significant hike from the previous 33,000 naira. There's also been a focus on promoting skills acquisition and entrepreneurship programs to empower corps members for self-reliance after their service year. And I believe that moving forward, strategic deployment is also very important, where they can match corps members' skills with community needs, which can also enhance the scheme's impact and relevance to national development. And the federal government has lifted the restrictions on posting NYC corps members to private sector organizations, allowing them to serve in industries like banking and oil and gas. The NYC Director General also encourages corps members not to lose hope despite economic challenges, highlighting Nigeria's opportunity for growth and development. And right now, this morning, we have Temitope on standby. She recently passed from the NYC service year. I don't know if Temitope is here.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Can I call you Tokwe, because my brain might skip calling Temitope long, like as a lengthy form?
Yes, that's fine.
Yes, thank you. So first, before we even start asking the serious questions, can you tell us how your service year went?
Okay. Actually, my service year was quite an experience, and it was nice. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, of course, I can hear you.
Okay, so my service year was an experience. It was okay, and it was nice. I actually served in the school, so and the experience was quite good, and yeah, that was it.
So that was very brief, but I want to know about your place of primary assignment, because one of the reasons why we're having this conversation is the fact that while you have mentioned that yours was okay and it was quite an experience, there are some people who have experienced very terrible conditions, from postings to their experience throughout that 1 year to even their clearance process and all of that stuff. So I want to know really how your PPA was. Maybe if you could give us an information of where you were posted, some of the things that you maybe did, and how easy it was for you, or how hard in that sense it was for you.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, it wasn't quite easy because when I left camp, I was actually posted to a company. And on getting to my initial primary assignment, I was told that they had like a number of lists that they were, what was it called? They were working with. I mean, I think they had actually come to camp and did some interviews with some corps members during camp. So I was actually posted there unaware. So when I got there, it was quite like, you know, it was really quite an experience because I was thinking I was going to like be posted to that company, which was actually one of the big companies in like Lagos, right? But when I got there, they said they had a list they were working with, so I had to like apply for a reposting, and that was where like the journey began. I mean, it was quite, a very tough because I had to like that because when I'm going to apply for a posting, I have to maybe have like a place that I intend or a place I have in mind. But I did not have like any place in mind or anything. But yeah, when I later applied, like without having like a place, so I was posted to a school closer, and the school was actually closer to my to where I stay. So, and it was actually very very close. It's a public school, and it's a very good school. The place is actually very good and nice. I mean, there is um not really stressful or anything. And yeah, so the process of actually getting to school was quite a lot, which was a very long process. But at the end of the day, I'm still like grateful that I was posted there, because if I was initially posted to that place of my first initial primary assignment, it's very like very going to be stressful for me. So all
Thank,
in all, I'm still grateful.
yeah, thank you very much.
All
Thank
right,
you.
all right, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Topa. So I would have loved to ask you if the government, we are listening right now, what exactly will you tell them to, do differently? But then I'm curious to know because I think earlier this year, an NYSC student came out one time, came out one time to, talk about the current administration, even down to stating that, even the Alawi, that, is given to her every month or so. It's not, it's not enough. Even, she complained about a lot of things. Gas is expensive, this is expensive, the other one is expensive. So, it's a lot, yeah. But then I want to ask, I'm just curious to know, what do you think about this current, Alawi that is, that's given to you people, and how do you see it? Is it enough? Is it, I want you to just, tell us what it looks like from your own end.
Okay, so we actually really appreciate her because
Okay.
if not, I don't think I don't think they would have actually like um you know really done something very fast about the Alawi. So actually appreciate her for that. So yeah, still because of the economic situation and what is happening in Nigeria at the moment, I don't even think the 77,000 is like is still enough. So compared to the 33,000, it is fair. So it is fair. But then, like you said, some core members, I've had colleagues that they came from other states, right? They had to either get apartment here in Lagos, and even with that 7,000, and their PPA is like not even giving them enough, or like quite enough that could even sustain them. Some have to actually depend on allowance from family members and all. Even aside that, people that have accommodation, maybe because they have an uncle, an aunt, or a family in Lagos, right? Transportation is quite a lot. I've had colleagues that would tell me, oh, that the allowance that the their PPA gives them is what they use for transportation, all of it, and even it's not still even enough, because when you are going in Lagos, you can just go out and transport fare is times two of what you are budgeting. So yeah, I mean, so there are other factors like transportation, um house allowance, and what's it called? Even food, feeding too. It's quite a lot. I don't think it's like going to be enough. But the other thing that can actually like be done is either the place of primary assignment providing maybe like a transport, enough transport allowance, and maybe feed it. Because although some actually do, but it's not always like, you know, like enough. So yeah, that's it.
Tokwe, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. And
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you, Tokwe.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll firstly say, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect. I'll firstly say congratulations to you. I mean, I saw a lot of pictures yesterday, and the joy was so surreal. Even going back home, I saw core members, right, with makeup, and they were so excited to, sign out and be done with this particular program. So congratulations to you. I've had a lot of discussion with some friends of mine who had not so good experiences with their primary place of assignment. So I'm going to pose a question to you, putting you on a spot. If you were to offer some sort of solution, to NYSC as a scheme and even the government, how do you think that primary place of assignment, how would I call it now? How do you think it should be done? Because sometimes some core members are not even fulfilled in the places they find themselves to be. Some of them are thrown into schools even when they don't think that that's the right path for them. Some core members also say even when they go to corporate organizations, they are not even utilizing their skills or learning as they should. So it's almost like, I can't wait for this 1 year to be over. And I'm saying this based on the experiences I've heard from some of my friends who also just completed their scheme. So how do you think this can be balanced? Because you now have first-hand experience. Yours was probably good. You've had other people's experience. So during your conversation, if you were to offer or prefer a solution, what do you think should be done to ensure that primary place of assignment becomes fulfilling, and encouraging to core members in the coming days?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so um, before core members are going to write, first before core members are going to write photo orientation camp, because it's all going to start during the orientation camp, because most core members go there and some have a place they want to go. And majority of people do not really know where they want to go. They just say, oh, anywhere NYSC posts me, I would go to. But I feel like if core members are orientated or say that, oh, before you're coming in camp, be sure that you know where you want to serve, or you know where you want to actually be. Because that would, if core members are coming in prepared and prepared to a place they want to go to or they want to serve, that way they'll actually be more fulfilled. Like now, if I'm going to camp and the government are saying that, okay, core members, as they are coming, be sure of the places you want to go to serve, be sure of the anywhere you want to actually go to. And a number of people would actually be, companies will even be ready to actually collect core members that want to serve. Core members are going to be able to use the skill that they have actually even gotten before entering camp. And they'll be able to, what's the word? They'll be able to start for organizations they would really like to work with and showcase the skills that they want to actually, they have actually learned. Because I think that way it will help people be more fulfilled and purposeful. Because if I'm actually, if some of us that were posted to school and, are not really getting what we want, if we have actually been posted to a place where we want and where we want to showcase our skills or the skills that we have gotten, maybe most of us would actually like be more fulfilled. So yeah, government should orientate core members and prepare them ahead, even if they don't even say, okay, this is where you are going to, or this is where, even if they don't allow core members to choose, right? They can just prepare them ahead of, okay, this is where you'll be posted to according to your skill, according to what your course of study. If you study so, you'll be posted to so. If you have this skill or anything, you will be posted to this particular places. So this would actually, prepare core members, and I mean they might actually like be more purposeful wherever they are or wherever they are posted.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tokwe. I think you've mentioned quite a thing. I would say that my experience in some cases might be similar to yours, but maybe different in other, on the sense of it also. I got posted to Abuja, but unfortunately, I think because they had the crowd was a lot in Abuja, we got moved. Some people were moved to have their 3 weeks orientation camp in Nasarawa, some in Kogi. Some were not even aware that they were posted to other states for the 3-week orientation camp. And then when I got to Nasarawa, I sort of already had the place that I wanted to work at. That was before getting into camp. And for some reasons, I was not also aware that I was supposed to submit that letter to them at the office to let them know that, okay, I've found the company wants me there. So I think that NYSC gives that space where you could choose where you want to work just by the information of knowing that this company wants you there. So I think that that's an information that a lot of people are not aware of and are not so common on the NYSC website. But just to, because we'll be wrapping up with you very soon, but moving on from now, I want to know what you personally be doing differently to also inform, other people. I'm sure you also have colleagues and friends who eventually want to go to NYSC maybe next year, this year, the years coming. How would you change or help them to navigate their service year better?
Okay, so thank you. Yeah, I've actually been doing that with my colleagues because, like you said, LIC actually gives some sort of space for that, where you can actually like take a letter from a place that you want to actually serve, right? But most people, like most majority of people that are going into service do not know. So what I actually am doing differently. So some of my colleagues that went um, the last batch, I think, okay, yeah, the last batch, or they have actually the ones that also even going. I told them that okay, when you want to actually go for service, have like the scouting for a place that you really want to work for or work in, maybe a primary assignment, and go to them and request like a letter if they would actually, accept come. And now they will have to, maybe if they will actually accept coming back, because LIC do not accept some particular companies, some particular private organizations, right? So that is like another what's it called level entirely, another level of information. So although I do not really know the particular like organizations they do not accept, but that is another thing they actually have to work on in passing the information that okay, these are some of the companies and organizations they do not accept and all. So I told them, okay, if you are going for service, make sure that you have like a place of primary assignment that you would want to like work with, because I do not add, like I didn't have that like luxury. If I had someone told me that okay, you need to like have, if you are going, be prepared, or um ask for, go to a company, ask and all. I did not have that, but still I'm actually grateful because I have that information now, and I'm going to, like I'm using, I'm actually telling my friends that oh, if you're going, make sure that you have a place at least and get a letter from there. Submit it in camp. Deployment is free and everything. So they are prepared. So like that is what I'm actually like doing differently. For anybody that comes to me and tell me, oh, I'm going to camp, please have a place of private assignment that you're going to. And for a camp experience, I actually had a really nice camp experience too. So what I tell my colleagues, be prepared, make sure that you make most of your camp experience. A lot of companies, come to camp. They are scouting for core members that would really want to like work for them. Majority of people do not know, and some of us we actually like go. Some people go to camp for the fun, missing out on the companies that would really like want to like scout for core members, right? Some people actually got their primary assignment in camp. Well, because of the fun, fair, and everything, they get carried away, and everyone at the end of 3 weeks, everyone is going without anything. So yeah, the I'll just tell them, be observant. The company, a lot of companies are coming to camp to come and showcase, have fun. They even sponsor the fun nights and everything. They are looking for core members. They will not just know, but if they can walk up to them and ask, even some will just some companies that come to share incentives. They are actually looking for core members, but yeah. So I'll tell them to be on the lookout for companies, all the companies that are coming in. So, and ask questions if they are looking for core members and all. You can never tell because they will not really say it. They just come and have fun and everything. So yeah, I would really like tell them to be observant and to be on the lookout for those companies that come to camp. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Tokwe, for joining this conversation. It was amazing to have you here. And of course, we have also learned a thing or two from you. And thank you for also taking the, initiative to educate your colleagues and friends about what to expect. And I liked how you highlighted that beyond having fun and just being there in camp is also to be able to look at and pick on the opportunities that are also available there. Thank you very much. We'll go on a break right now. And when we return, we'll talk more on this conversation and then wrap up the show from there. Thank you. You can play advice. I describe myself as a polyhumanitarian, someone who believes politics should be rooted in love for country and empathy for its people. I'm thrilled to introduce to you Politics Uncensored, a show dedicated to tackling the political challenges that matter most to Nigerians. This is more than just a show. It's a space for honest, unfiltered conversations about the issues that shape our nation. From policy reforms to elections, leadership tussles to governance at all levels, and the overall political landscape in Nigeria. We will dive deep into how politics is impacting our everyday lives. So join me on this journey as we challenge the status quo, spark dialogue, and work together to build a brighter future for Nigeria. Let's make our voices heard and drive the change we deserve.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, lives a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode. And that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Back to the show. Yes, we've heard Tokwe talk about our experience during her NYSC service year and how it was good and tough at some point for her, but she was able to scale through. And just yesterday, alongside thousands of other Nigerians, they were awarded the certificate of a well-done service year for Nigeria as a whole. But she mentioned some things that were different for me, and I stated earlier that first off, NYSC gives you the opportunity to submit a letter of the company that you choose to work with, provided that the company has given you a letterhead stating why they need you in that office. And I also believe that some people find their skills, some people find their ambition, some people find a lot of things when they go to camp where there's a lot of skill acquisition program. Funnily, during camp, I did a lot of, not just a lot of things, I did everything in camp. I was the assistant at the, what they call this, the hostel, yes. I was the assistant hostel prefect. I always woke everybody up at 3 a.m. They hated me, but I did it anyway. And it was fun because I also worked alongside the woman who was cleaning, who was washing the toilets. I gave her extra money because the money that they were paying her to was in peanuts as at that time. But because she was an elderly woman, I just felt like compensation just had to be done. So it was a lot of experience. That was also the first time for me staying with a lot of girls. I've never stayed, boarding house, I no go. This one, I no go. I was always a day student. So NYSC for me was like, yes, even in the university, I never stayed at an hostel. I was like, I just want to be on my own, let nobody disturb me. But NYSC just sort of forces you to, you must be communal, whether you like it or not. And when I got into camp, I picked the end of the bed. I just didn't want to, because I was scared. So it was both being scared, anxious. I wasn't sure about what was going to happen when you live with that many people. It was not my brothers, it was not my sisters. So I didn't know what kind of vibe to expect. So I just stayed at the end. But it was a bit of both bravery and wanting to stay on my own for me. So when the hostel leader came in and she was like, you know what, I need my eyes and ears in this hostel so that whatever issue that is happening, I can't always be here 24/7. I need people to help me do this. Funnily, I raised my hand up, and when I raised my hand up, I was like, why did you raise your hand up for what? But I think there was just that thing in me that always liked to be at the forefront of things that just got me. And then she was like, okay, who else is going to be there? And still I was scared because the person who now became the hostel leader where I was the assistant, when they asked who would do it, I told her, let her be hostel leader. And then the woman was like, you already raised your hand up, so there's no going back. So you're going to be the assistant. So I ended up doing so many things other than that, cleaning the toilet, making sure that everybody fixed their bed. Like, you're not leaving that hostel until you fix your bed and fix your side, because they came in, some soldiers will come in, the hostel leader can come in and be like, this is messy. So their job is on the line when the hostels are not clean. So that is when they come in, they need to see that under your bed, the sides of your bed, you fixed your bed. So it was a lot of work just managing those girls. I think over 30 girls in the same room. And I was like, God, I beg. People stole buckets, people stole underwears. So when they say when they say camp experience, it's actually camp experience. I think that NYSC sort of got that one working for them, where you are forced to be communal, you're forced to be security conscious, you're forced to be self-aware, where that anything that misses in your body, you know that there's somebody that carries, and you might never see, to be honest, you might never see it again. And even when you find it, if you face the person that took it, the person say, I'm so what?
Those are height of freshness, bro.
But then for the skills, I was amazed. I did the debate competition. I came first, by the way.
Okay,
Yes,
I love that.
yes. That's the leader in me. You know what? I came first. I did dancing competition.
Oh.
I was there for the ceramic.
You
I
were
was
really
there-
the social butterfly.
like that was unlike me. But for some reasons, I just wanted to experience whatever experience camp has, because that 3 weeks never comes again. That's about it. So just like Tokwe said, that making the most of it is like all you need to do. And then seeing how beautiful those things were, where you're being celebrated, people want to hear you. There were some that came and they were just outright rude. They didn't care about whether or not you're a youth corps member. Some even said, you people are a set of useless people. I hope that's... So, but there's the part that also made sense. Also, the fact that religion was also incorporated in that space, where there's, if you want to go to church, there's a chapel. If you want to go to mosques, there's a mosque where you can also go to. So there's nothing like when you get into camp, you lose sight of what is supposed to be. Then there's free food. Unfortunately, I didn't eat any of the food
I've
because
always said camp food is trash.
some enjoy. See, I know somebody that her card was her life. That food card was her life. She never let go of it. And it was not because she could not afford like outside food, but she preferred the food that they were cooking in camp than Mami Market, as they popularly call it, food. So I liked the fact that there are some people that enjoyed camp experience. I decided not to get sick. That's one thing that I think NYSC should also take note of. The would I call it clinics? The clinics are terrible in a lot of... let me just even say all, because saying a lot of is like if people will now hold on to the half that is working. All of the clinics in all the NYSC reputation centers are not working well. You have maybe infection from wherever, they'll give you paracetamol. You have typhoid, paracetamol. You have this one, paracetamol. The person that use AI to pass will be the one to tell you that the way I'm seeing you like this, they'll put, while they are promoting like doctors should be in there, they'll still push one random person that does not know what he's doing and say that that's the doctor that is going to take care of you. And I just felt like that. Even the first aid box was empty in Nasarawa camp. There was nothing inside the first aid box. So I made sure I did not get sick for that 3 weeks. And even when I got sick, I was doing like, in Jesus' name.
You know what? I know we're running out of time, but something came to my mind, and I think it's about this whole PPA thing. So a friend of mine, my roommate in 300 level, she served in Abia State, even though she had to redeploy to Lagos. So she had somebody that was also serving in Abia State, a first-class student, by the way. And so the person was now redeployed. The PPA area, pardon me, was supposed to be a company in that area. And guess what they were going to offer this person for monthly salary?
Tell me.
10,000 naira.
I got 15,000.
That was then. I'm talking of 10,000 naira in 2025, even when the
10,000
allowance from NYSC is 77,000. So the reason why I asked her that question is I don't know if there's a rule where NYSC members maybe give some sort of, I don't know, like a restriction to these PPAs, these, different workplaces that people will come in, so that they don't go below a certain amount. Because it's ridiculous, a first-class student, somebody who is also going to be coming to the office at least maybe 3 times in a week, and you're paying 10,000. 10,000 can't even get you a decent meal. Can get me shower. You can't get you a decent meal as such. So I feel like if
Look at me!
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh. So, have you been joined Igbo cultural people?
Yes.
You're really the
I say
social
I'm not going
butterfly.
to be in Yoruba down south place. They
I
take
love
me
that.
there.
I think when I want to serve as well, I'd like to explore all of this whole excitement with the free.
There's no restriction, and that's the beautiful thing. You can actually be at everywhere at the same time. Just manage your time well, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, so PPA, please do better with the some of the amounts
Allowance
that they give to these people.
I think that's why the NYC is also saying that for some reasons, when these people come and work with you, pay them something that is worthy of being there. They have increased the money, of course, they can say that. They have increased the allowance.
Yes, the person that gave that guy 10,000 said, "Should be NYSC is giving you 77. This is just a token from us. Thanks for coming."
But there are some PPAs where they don't pay them anything, especially government parastatals. There was a friend of mine that was being paid 15,000 naira every 3 months. It was like
every 3 months.
Yes. So if you like, it was almost like you had no choice but to take it. And this was a government parastatal. So I think beyond private organizations paying core members' time, government parastatals should also take the lead first by paying good amount of money for people who are core members who come and work with them. Not be all this.
Some private organizations I know pay 120,000 to core members.
Now restrictions, there are no longer restrictions. So I'm sure that from here henceforth, NYSC core members, aspiring core members, ex-core members can help and also navigate all these challenges that NYSC can bring to you, whether or not you want to go for NYSC or not. But you must go because you must serve Nigeria. I serve Nigeria. You must serve Nigeria. All of you will serve Nigeria.
I'm going to serve.
Yes,
Thanks.
all of us. Thank you for joining this conversation. See you again tomorrow with another great topic. As you like this one, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.